Okay, so the very first thing that I really want to just start off here, and some of these things may be rudimentary, but I think I like to look at things as foundation, and then what do we want to focus on to get us in the right position to get the maximum ROI. So silver and gold are gone. Bye-bye. See you later. Adios, right? Very quickly, very simply, membership. What is that? Hey, you got an MPN ID. This is like, we're just starting out. Hey, I want to be a Microsoft partner, right? You got an MPN ID, and then what do you get from that? Well, you get access to marketing, okay, and access to Microsoft Learn, right? Okay, great. Sounds good. Okay, perfect. Thank you. I'm not really doing anything else, right? And you're still confused, right? Now, partner success level is saying, okay, hey, you got an MPN ID, and then you finally figured out who to talk to buy and sell licensing through a distributor. Great, you aligned with the distributor. Partner success, you've aligned with them, and now you're starting to sell CSP, right? You're starting to sell CSP licensing. You're selling Azure. You're selling Microsoft 365, Modern Work. You're selling Dynamics. You are going through a distributor to get the licenses. And then what do you get as a partner? Well, you get the margin. Okay, and what is the margin? Margin is the discount over MSRP that you're getting from the CSP. And what do? Okay, I bought it for $20. I'm getting it for 18 or whatever the thing is, and that's your margin. That's what you're making on selling licensing. Okay, so the good and bad about that is, yeah, you're starting to make a little money, but it's pennies on the dollar. It's almost negligible, right? To actually do that, right? To make money on that end. The next level, which is really taking over for silver and gold, is that solution partner designation. Okay, and why this is important is because if you think about it, and as I mentioned in the very beginning, there's 6,000 new workloads. It made sense that they got rid of silver and gold, because if you said you're a gold Azure partner, okay, well, heck, there's 5,000 new workloads in Azure. How's it possible you're that good at all 5,000? You're not. So Microsoft actually did a pretty good thing when they're saying, okay, hey, there are 6 different areas. You want to specialize in 1 or 2 of them. There's Modern Work, which you should all do because you are selling Office 365, and then you want to pick one of the Azure ones or a security one, right? So you go through that, you get your solution partner designation. Now, what does this do for you as far as it comes to incentives? Let's talk about that. So it allows you now to get this thing called back-end incentives, okay? And it's called a residual compensation. A residual, for some of you that are in the telecom world and come back like, what does this actually mean? So what it does, it says, okay, hey, by the way, if you have the solution partner designation, we're going to give you the equivalent of gold level IURs. Cool, 100 licenses, E3s, get a bunch of Azure, you get every single server application. Awesome. Okay, that's great. But now what you get is back-end residual, and that's the important piece of the solution partner designation. Now, now a caveat to this though too is, depending on whether you're a bigger partner or a smaller partner, depends on how that money is divided up. Okay, so I'll give you the example of it. So Microsoft says, look, if you're a smaller partner and you have less than $10,000 in earnings, okay, they're just going to stroke you a check every 6 months. Here's a check, 10 grand. There you go. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. We're not going to talk to you about MDF. Now, as you go above that $10,000 mark, okay, now you trigger this thing called co-op. And this is market development funds, Microsoft's idea of market development funds. So the easy way of explaining that is, okay, now you got $10,001. Basically 6,000, because it's always a 60-40 split, 6,000 of that will come to you every 6 months in a nice little check. Boom, boom, boom. These are the checks, those deposits you get from Microsoft that you have no idea what they are. You get that, but you get those on a monthly basis, but they accrue over 6 months, okay? And then the 40% that you have left, the other $4,000, and this is just round numbers here, that's going to go into what's called your MDF bucket, okay? Now, a couple things to understand. If you and you have 6 months to use it, okay? If you don't use that MDF, you know what happens? Microsoft says, thank you, really appreciate it. We're going to take that money back, and they keep it for themselves. But now, really, what you want to focus on is the advanced specialization. Okay, that is up here, specialization and expert offer. And they took advanced offer, they just call it specialization. But this is where you want to go, and there's a reason why you want to go here. Is because this opens up the thousands and hundreds of thousands of buckets of money. Right now, for the 3 that are underneath advanced specialization, there's not a whole lot of money there, right? There you get the back-end rebate. Okay, cool. But where you get the money is in the advanced specialization. Now,